welcome back. So today's video is a collab. I and a couple of my friends, Jessa and Jan Van, we decided to do some swatches and looks with the Cooltrals palette from Cosmic Beauty. Now last week we did a video with the Nude Trolls, so you'll want to check those out, all three of ours. And today obviously is the Cooltrals. So I'm gonna do some swatches and then a couple of looks, and then I will come on back and let you know what I think. All right, here we go. Okay, so here is the Cooltrals palette, and I will do some swatches just like I did for the Nude Trolls. So this palette is described as cool tones meeting neutrals. A cool toned color story that's not just full of neutral browns. This is a 20 shade palette. It has 12 mattes and 8 metallics, and it includes within the metallics one foiled multichrome, a duochrome, and an iridescent. Now, similarly to neutrals, there are some shades in here that are pigments, pressed pigments. In contrast to neutrals, most of this palette, most of the shades are pigments. There are only 4 shades in here that are not. Those are the shades that are considered eyeshadows. Again, when there are pressed pigments or pigments within the eyeshadows, they are considered not safe for around the eye area. People have to put that on there due to US law, but if you have ordered any sort of eyeshadow, especially like from an indie brand, you're gonna find pressed pigments in there. But it's important to know they put that on there to make sure that you are aware. I'm fine with pressed pigments. They don't bother me. I love them. But I'll go ahead and do the swatches, and I'll be sure to let you know which ones are not pressed pigments. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This first shade here is called Slate, and it is described as a wet look sparkly metallic pewter. Next is, move that up, Eternal, and it is a soft peachy pink nude matte. Eternal is a soft, peachy, Stone Cold is a neutral nude mid-tone matte. Grounded is a muted, cool-toned berry matte. The last one in this row is Gravitate, and it is described as a smooth, shifty multichrome that reflects from a muted berry to a purple gray to a muted green. So a lot going on. Oh yeah, you can kind of see those shades in there. Now, out of this first row, the ones that are not pigments are Stone Cold, which is this shade here, and Gravitate, which is the multichrome. Everything else in this row, pigments. All right, next row is Natural, and it is described as a dark muted plum gray matte. Don't mind that, I still have, hold on. Still have a bit of shimmer on my arm because I'm swatching this right after I swatched Nude. So, FYI. Oh, how about that? Let's fix that. Okay. Okay, so the second row, we're starting with the shade Natural. It is described as a dark muted plum gray matte. Next is Secret, and it is described as a sparkling metallic topper in a steely lavender. Oh, that's a hell of a topper. Wow. I'm so used to toppers being like thinner in terms of opacity, but this one, it's pretty good. Oh, this is gonna look so pretty on top of matte shades. Next is Crave, and it is described as a pastel purpley pink matte. We have next Moonlight, and that is a blinding white silver metallic. Let's see if it blinds us. You blinded? I guess you wouldn't be able to tell me. Or maybe? I don't know, whatever. And Shadow is defined or described as a deep neutral gray matte. This is very deep. It looks almost black. Yeah, you can see the cool gray in there. So in this row, the only one that is not a pressed pigment is Moonlight. So all of the other shades are pigments. Now, let's move on to this row here. The first shade is Affinity, a metallic muted sky blue. These are crazy with just one swipe. Next is Midnight. It is a dark muted blue matte. Oh, this is pretty. Hidden, this one here, is a neutral denim blue matte. Cooltrals, you know, namesake of the palette, is a cool toned mid-gray matte. And the last one in that row is Tempting, and it is described as a sparkly duochrome with a purple blue base that shifts to a muted cyan blue. And they also forgot an S in one of these words. You're welcome. All right, last row. First shade here is Intuition. It's described as a cool blue gray mid-tone matte. Then is Reveal, and it is described as an iridescent metallic that shifts to a cyan blue / green. This one feels more like a topper than this one. Then we have Attract, and that is described as a pastel, cool, neutral blue matte. We have Magnetic, which is a metallic royal blue. That's like a purple in there too, right? Did I say that this is Magnetic? Hopefully I did. And the last shade here is Eclipse. It is a matte black with shimmery silver particles. Let's see if these show up. I'll be curious to see if the shimmers hold up to being blended out, because in the Gothic palette there is a black matte that is supposed to have like shimmers in it, and it kind of blends away. But here are all of the shades in the Cooltrals palette. Very pretty. I like it. Lots of blues and grays, a bit of green, purple. So there you go. Boom. I forgot to say that in the last row, the shade Reveal is the one that, I forgot to say in the last row here, the shade Reveal is the only one that is not a pigment. So that would be this shade here. All right. Okay, so let's compare Cooltrals to the other Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty palettes that I have. I have Gothic, Royal Rose, Muse, Winter Wonderland, Delicious Delights, and Serenity. Okay, so why don't we start with Gothic. I think there are going to be some in here that might look similar. There we go. This definitely, Gothic, of course, has a more purple vibe going on, but I could see it going well with some of these shimmers, like pulling some of the mattes from here. And obviously, this one has fewer shades. This is 12 shades, while this one is 20. Now, the Gothic palette, you're pretty much just going to get a purple look. So if you're not wanting just purple, I would say then that the Cooltrals might be a good bet. You're not going to get the same kind of purples, though, that you would get in the Gothic palette. Okay, so here are Cooltrals and Winter Wonderland. Now, I do see that Winter Wonderland has more blues in there, more teals, and this palette, Cooltrals, has more grays and like grayish purples. This one has like deeper, truer purples. I don't even know. When I'm looking at them, I'm gravitating towards this one just because I feel like the Winter Wonderland palette kind of just like pops, you know? But I still like Cooltrals. I think you could get away with having both of those, maybe. Or neither, you know, whatevs. So here we have Cooltrals and Muse. This definitely has more of a variety, right? Does it? I don't think this looks very similar to this one at all. Like, this palette, I feel, makes this palette look more cool-toned and neutral. While this one is a bit brighter, more vibrant, and of course has a variety of shades. Which one? I think you could get away with having both of them too. Alright, next one. Now, Cooltrals and Royal Rose, very different. Still some similar themes in terms of the purples, but you've got more pinks and reds in this one. And of course there's the orange, both of those, the yellow. So I think these are definitely for like different people, So Cooltrals and Delicious Delights. Definitely more vibrant, kind of fun poppy colors. And I think that really brings out the cool tone shades here in the Cooltrals. And then this last comparison is Cooltrals and Serenity. And Serenity, I believe, was their first palette. Similar, but in Serenity, you're getting some greens, a bit of orange there. But similar in terms of the blues and maybe a bit of purple. And then lastly, why don't we compare Cooltrals to Nude Trolls? So as you can see, you've got the Cooltrals here and the Nude Trolls here. Now, I do believe as of right now, the Nude Trolls is out of stock. I think I saw that it will be restocked at the end of September. Seems like you can still get your hand on the Cooltrals. Out of the two, I'm surprised to say I kind of am more like drawn to this one. So, there you go. Let's move on to doing a look with Cooltrals. the Cooltrals palette from Cosmic Beauty. So here's the palette. Nice cool tone palette. It's fine. I might be the person like on the outside with these two palettes, the Cooltrals and Nude Trolls. I wish that there were a couple more like deeper colors in some of these tones. I found that I had to, because I wanted to deepen the shades, I popped into this shade here, which is Shadow. I also really wanted to see if this one here, Eclipse, if you could still see the shimmer. And kind of, but not really. It reminds me of a shade that they have in the Gothic palette, where there's some shimmer in it, but it kind of blends out. Initially, when I patted it on, I think I could still see it. Oh, my ankle hurts. But yeah, so I think because I noticed that there are like individual shades in other of their palettes, that's not a correct sentence, but you know what I mean. I'm more likely to use this as like pulling in with another palette, combining them, maybe even trying to combine the Nude Trolls and the Cooltrals. I think that if you are looking for a nude palette and you are looking for a cool palette and you are wanting to have the Cosmic Beauty formula, which is really good, you want to spend like less than 30 bucks, then I think these are good to go. You can definitely pick them up. Otherwise, I think if you've already got some neutral tones and some, I was gonna say Cooltral. No, we're not gonna make that happen. We're not gonna bring Fetch back. And some cool tones in your other palettes, then I don't know that this is something you have to get. I'm not like panting over it. I would say that out of all of my Cosmic Beauty palettes, these are lower if I were to rank them. So yeah, I know. But also, I'm not in the best mood, so that could be affecting how I feel about this. Yeah, I like this look though. Very vampy, very, very icy. Yeah. So, for some other opinions, make sure you head over to my friends, Jan and Jessa. I will link their channels in the description box. Now, we have different skin tones, different skill levels for sure, because Jessa is a full-on makeup artist. So you can see the palette on different skin tones, different people, essentially. So, let me know if you've picked up either of these. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.